game day, bitches!
Aren't you guys being a little nonchalant about all this?
Are you insinuating there is a wrong time and a right time to rock?
You got to break down that opening dance number. How and why did you come up with that? It's incredible.
My enemy is the skip forward button. I want to vanquish it. I want all the wonderful people who work so hard on the show. I want them to get their due up front in the upfront credits and get people to see them. So I try to create a opening credit sequence that people wouldn't skip over once the 8th episode comes around.
Who do you think had the best and worst dance moves on the shoot?
Jen stole the show for sure. I would put Steve AJ up there in the honorable mention. We're our own biggest critics, so I'll put myself near the most needed improvement.
I disagree with John. I think, John, you did a great job. You're one of the busiest guys I've ever met in my entire life. So how you find time to do all of the crazy things that you do and then learn this dance sequence.
Jen Holland was definitely the best. She is an incredible dancer.
I love Robert Patrick's lights are on, the hip thrust.
Yeah, blinkers on.
I really do love that.
Blinkers on, blinkers off. I would agree with Jen because she was in my eyesight. I just kept focused on her so I could see what the heck to do.
The best moves go to Jen, as she is the acrobat dancer extraordinaire.
The worst is even easier. It's Robert Patrick. He's terrible. Definitely not the next Baryshnikov. He's my favorite part to watch him struggle to dance along with everybody else.
And I think we've decided as of today that Steve is the
worst.
is probably at the bottom of that ladder.
Steve seems to think me and him should be, sort of like linked together for that title, but I'm ready to give it to Steve. I'm ready to give him that title.
Worst, I would go with me just because I'm really self-conscious about dancing. And it really took me down to the wire to learn those moves, even though we had a lot of rehearsals.
I really like the fact that everybody is kind of going on with the adventure James tried to bring us on and defeat the skip intro button.
My advice? Cut it out with the introspection. The mind is a den of scorpions better left running from, not towards.
I kind of saw this as everything that James Gunn has done walked so Peacemaker could run. I mean, this just seems like such a complete James Gunn piece.
Well, it did feel like that. And I think that part of the reason is simply because it's television. So I'm really able to just allow the comedy to play out, allow the dramatic elements to play out, the nuances of the relationships, and really get into all the nitty gritty of all those different things and really getting to know a group of characters. I mean, it's so funny to me that I've spent so much of my life working on Guardians of the Galaxy. At the end of 3 full movies, it'll be the same amount of time as this entire series. So we already have gotten to know Harcourt and Economos more than we've gotten to know Groot and Star-Lord. And that's a really interesting thing about television, and it's one of the fun parts for me.